Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Space Engineer small large ship build. So like I said in the last video, and I believe the video before that, there was problems with the design of the ship, and so here's the faithful video that I said was coming. We're going to redesign the ship. We're going to basically scrap the entire thing and start anew. What we're doing, yeah. There was a lot of things that I worked almost all week on, not just not in the game, but on SketchUp and mentally, and I just couldn't think of a good way to solve the shape issues or the geometry issues in any way that didn't involve hours and hours of fiddling with block numbers and basically inventing the angles that I needed to do for them, because I wasn't gonna do it. So we're going with a much more tubular design. I will link the DeviantArt picture in the description. DeviantArt through Pinterest, whatever. I'll link the DeviantArt. I found it through Pinterest. That's what I meant to say. So I did nail down a bit more of what this ship is, not just building it, but as one of the commenters, I believe I said last video, said or commented or suggested, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be a pioneering ship. And so what that means for this ship is that it is going to be the second ship, I guess, that's sent. One of two second ships that are sent after the initial explorers, explorers find a habitable planet. Then either this or a science vessel is sent out, and then if it is habitable and a good source to have a colony on, then the colony ship is sent. So I've kind of done a bit of self-concepting out for this entire process. So you have the initial explorers, which are just there to generally get the idea of what is out and among the stars. So class of star and habitability of a planet, basically just by what elements are present, not necessarily to go down and explore the terrestrial side of it. That would only happen for at least this version of exploring if there was something that they found on their scanners to actually do. It's not this version I'm using as an example or concept of exploring is not surveying or researching, is simply going through and cataloging stuff. So then, if it is habitable, from a 10% to a 100% possibility of habitability, this ship is sent in as the science vessel and the living kind of research. So how is it actually to live there? What's the geography? And to actually have some experience in what the environments are like. So what a day in the life of someone living on this planet might be. And that's to make sure of the quality of the colony that will come. So a 10% habitability, if this was sent in, is basically the banishment kind of assignment, is to go survey a 10% habitability, which it's not a terrible habitability. I mean, you can live there. It may not have one essential part of life that you're going to have to augment somehow. Maybe oxygen or water or something that you have to augment somewhere else. Maybe like you can't be on the surface of the planet, but under the ground there's plenty of oxygen and water, and you can grow crops fun enough. Not fun enough, but fine enough. But yeah, so that kind of stuff will fall into a 10%. 100% is obviously an exact Earth, with less global warming, I suppose. Maybe. Depends. I mean, you can have a tropical, 100% habitable world. 100% would probably be a planet that is basically Earth, but doesn't have pollution in it, which pretty sure is really hard to find even in natural forms, because there's even radiation out among the stars and stuff. So 100% is very, very, very rare to find, even among explored planets. So most of them will fall between an 80 or 70% and the 10%. habitability. I don't think I'll be able to build a colony ship. I want to, but it'd take me so long. So we'll see how this project goes first. So like I said, we are going with a more tubular design, and I wanted to make it more. I wanted it to look more upscale-y than the angular stuff, so give it some very industrial, heavy angles, but also give it this kind of softer aesthetic. I think that's the word I want to use, softer. So that is why I kind of went for this design. Things I want this thing to have as far as armament, I want it to be just enough to ward off a raiding party, a pirate raiding party, but not enough to, if somebody's looking to actually destroy this ship, then, or any ship, if somebody's on the attack, this thing won't stand a chance. If somebody is scavenging or they happen upon, then this ship should be able to deal its own. I do want to have at least one rover, a rover that resembles kind of like a truck, so some type of bed, rugged and so on and so forth, but also main kind of exploration kind of look. Also, one or more flyers, so a small hangar of small flyers. I might use stuff that I've used before. I'm pretty sure I have it on my Steam list called a Dragonfly, I believe. So I might do some updating of those models and use those because I really enjoy those. The atmospheric versions of the Dragonfly are slightly bigger, but I think I can make a hangar in this thing for it. Stuff that we're gonna save from the image. We're gonna get rid of the one thruster. We're probably gonna have around 3. We are gonna keep the fan turbine atmospheric thrusters. So I definitely want this thing to be able to land, but I want it to be kind of a chore to land and take off. So hopefully I can get the maneuverability to kind of mirror that. That depends on how much kind of thrust I put onto it and such as that. The side thrusters in the image, I want to be able to have them there, but they also eject a bit out from the side of the ship and be able to angle down at the ground when in atmosphere, so they have much more control over where you land. So they're kind of half VTOL, half maneuvering thrusters. So you have the giant turbine to keep you up, and then you have the VTOLs to kind of situate you left and right. Hopefully I can hide a bunch of thrusters. The design looks pretty big, but I don't know what the end design is going to be. The bridge of this ship ended up looking quite a bit smaller than I was intending, so I don't really know. It might get bigger as we go along. We might kind of buff it out a bit. It's not actually what I meant, but I don't know what word would actually go there better. So that's so that's kind of what I was thinking for that. I don't really have much more to say on the project because we are kind of just redesigning the entire darn ship, and we're kind of starting anew. The reason I didn't want to build it, the reason I didn't want to label this new ship episode 1 is because I want to keep the momentum we got with the series so far. It's given me something to make sure I get out every week, and I'm enjoying the builds, or the build singular. And this is kind of what I do when I'm building on my own anyway, with even smaller ships. I work one way, and when that doesn't work, scrap it and move on, and keep building with the momentum that I have. And so that's what I'm doing. This video series is me building, so this is what I do. As far as the rest of the video, I'm going to leave you guys to it, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you again, or talk to you for closing comments, so enjoy. Alrighty. So, I did get a lot of the inspiration for the bridge itself from the whole series. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Like I said, it's a very, very tubular design for now. I do want to get a lot of the structure bits that are kind of out of the side on the image. So hopefully that will be in the next episode, kind of trying to bulk it out a bit and not leave it such a simple tube, I guess. That's going to be a lot of hit and miss, kind of throwing ideas on the ship and see if it works. So there's going to be a lot more blocks in this map. Oof, this map's going to get heavy. But that is all I have for this episode. I don't think I actually mentioned that is going to be the next episode, is me trying to bulk out the ship. Just to make that clear. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. But that is all for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.